I'm Gina Mizell here at Reser Stadium with Oregon State beat partner Connor Letourneau, where on Saturday, Oregon State won its season opener 29-14 over Portland State here in Corvallis. And it's a win for the Beavers, which has been an issue against these FCS opponents in recent seasons. So I guess that's a positive thing you take away from it. But obviously a really sloppy game for the Beavers. Some struggles on offense getting into the end zone. They needed to attempt 7 field goals from Garrett Owens. So overall, what's your biggest takeaway from this game?
My biggest takeaway is that this offense has a long way to go. They leaned pretty heavily on the tight ends, which we kind of expected early, but we didn't really see much out of the complementary guys, even a Victor Bolden or Malik Gilmore, Hunter Jarman. They didn't really show us much today. And, the run game was able to kind of make some progress, but there's still a lot of work to be done there. I don't think the offensive line really impressed all that much. The left tackle in particular had some issues today. So long way to go for that offense.
Yeah, Storm Woods had 120 yards rushing, 50 of them on one play in the first quarter, which that's already longer than any run he had in 2013. But when you really look at this game overall, the third quarter is where things changed when there were 4 turnovers from Portland State. The defense, you could tell, really came out, played well. Tyreek Zimmerman had 2 interceptions. Michael Doctor forced a fumble and then recovered a fumble also in this game. So what do you think changed for the defense as far as just kind of locking down Portland State and allowing the offense to at least kick field goals, maybe not get in the end zone, but at least get some points off the board?
I think they just kind of settled into a rhythm. Even an experienced defense is going to have some growing pains early in a game. They had several penalties in that first half that were pretty key, but I think they just kind of focused, locked into what they needed to do, and they kind of, obviously in that first half, they struggled against Paris Penn, the mobile quarterback, had 115 rushing yards that first half, really locked in on that in the second half, and I thought the second half they were actually stellar. They didn't allow a single point. I don't even think they really got past the 50-yard line. So that PSU defense, that Oregon State defense was pretty much as advertised in that second half.
Yeah, absolutely. 10 penalties for the Beavers in the first half, and 3 of them were major penalties that came on that one of those touchdown drives for Portland State. So obviously that's a recipe for disaster. But when we go to special teams, that third phase of the game, Garrett Owens, who didn't even know he was going to be the starting kicker about a week and a half ago, comes out, hits 5 of 7 field goals. One of the misses was from 50 yards, where he actually made it but was iced and they called timeout, and then he missed it on the second attempt. What were your impressions of him moving forward if Trevor Romaine really does not come back from his academic issues?
I think they're in a good spot. One thing I was actually impressed with him was his kickoffs. His kickoffs were really solid. He didn't have any touchbacks really, but they were really close to the end zone. Nice length and height on those, which I know was kind of his shortcoming entering this game. So I was impressed with that. And in terms of the field goals, 5 for 7's okay. It's not amazing. He did miss a 25-yarder right off the upright, which was a tough one. But he has the range. We saw him make a 50-yarder, even though it didn't count. So I think they're in a good place. I don't think there's a big drop-off from Romaine.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, this Beavers team 1-0, which is better than last year when this team lost to Eastern Washington, another FCS foe. Moving on, going to play at Hawaii next Saturday, so that long road trip. Then after that's the first bye week of the year. So we'll keep it with all the coverage right here on Oregon Live. For Connor Letourneau, I'm Gina Mizell. We'll catch you next time here from Corvallis.